Action.
Well, hello there. That was terrible. I seem to be in a better mood. Let me turn the label away. I seem to be in a better mood this video than I was the last video from the other day. Like I said, I'm no master mechanic. I just know how to make things work. This tractor has been giving me a hard time, and it's been defeating me quite a bit. You know, it's one of those things where it's not a car, and it's easier than working on a car to a point. So when you get involved in pulling, it's a lot of different guys' opinions, and you have to kind of take them all and see what kind of works, and then see what works for you. This tractor right here does what International meant it to do 150%. This is a good machine. Farming, if this thing had to pull any type of implement, it would do it no problem. We got it running to where International would be proud of the way this thing runs. In saying that, we decided to get into pulling because I got 2 H's. I like pulling, but again, I don't know. It's beating the shit out of a machine. We try not to beat the shit out of the machine. I don't know if I can swear at YouTube, maybe I can. But anyway, so essentially, last year we got our butt kicked. Over the winter, we did a whole new rebuild on the engine. Overbore kit, sleeves, pistons, rings. Then we put a bigger carburetor on it. This is like, you know, basically a Farmall Super H, Farmall M, Super M, 350, 450. They're all the same type size bowl, W6s, W everything, for more fuel. We put a tighter spring on, which you guys saw in the other videos. We made an adjustment to the rod that goes with the butterfly to the carburetor. So essentially we turned this tractor into a Super H, pretty much. The problem we've been having consistently is that it would pull really good and then it would die, a slow death. A couple guys said it's a fuel problem, so that's why I went with the bigger carburetor compared to the standard H carburetor, because the sleeves that are in here are the same size as a Super H. But we were running a standard H carburetor, so we put the bigger carburetor on. Tractor still died. So then I said, well, you know what? Thinking outside the box, I put a Petronix electronic ignition on there, eliminated everything in there, points and everything. Then we ran the electronic ignition, thinking it would help a little bit. It did, but it didn't do what it needed to do. So then I went with the Petronix flamethrower coil, 40,000 volt coil. So we put that on, so I've got a complete Petronix setup on it. We've got the stiffest spring, everything we did. We went to the pulls last week and it pulled like crap. So then I thought it was the governor. So we started digging into the governor. Like I said, we made adjustments here on Friday. Didn't do much for Saturday. Tractor did okay. We changed out springs at the pull, and it just was a nightmare. It didn't do anything. So I did a lot of reading, talked to a couple more guys, read Power Forum, I read it. I read that you want to have about a 1/4 inch of play when you start pulling the throttle before the engine starts really revving up. We were going about halfway, maybe more, before the engine started revving up. So I came over here to this adjustment, and this was the last video I made where I was so defeated. I was trying all these adjustments, it wasn't doing anything, so I just was defeated and gave up. But as I walked away, I said, oh boy, when the tractor's at low idle, this spring was fully compressed right here as it is now, because the throttle's all the way down. High idle, you know, well, it stays open till you go to high idle. Well, essentially all I did is I pulled the throttle back, and I noticed the spring with the throttle all the way open was only compressing about that much. There's still a lot of gap in there. If you look low idle, see how the low idle is completely compressed, and this one is not. And when it was about going to there, and that was at full throttle. So I read about guys putting spacers in. So as you can see, I put a couple of washers in there, and now at high idle, it's as tight as the low idle. That did make an improvement. We are getting throttle response at a lower setting, I guess is what you want to call it. So that helps bring the RPMs up. Then I talked to another guy, told me about running a different type of fuel system and eliminating the sediment bowl, because I was told that it chokes them out. So what I did, we'll take a walk around this way, is I went for broke, and I bought an Edelbrock fuel pump, electronic fuel pump, and I mounted it under here where the bracket is for the gas tank on the back of the engine. Mounted it there. As you can see, we eliminated the don't mind my zip tie, we eliminated the sediment bowl completely. Went with the 3/8 fitting, barbed, ran one fuel line to the obviously to the talk R.A.G, the fuel pump, and then a straight line to there. I will cut a filter in there. I'm not too worried about it because this tank is extremely clean. The sediment bowl was extremely clean. The other thing that we did is I ran the ground to the battery because of the position, and I ran the power wire for the fuel pump on the hot side with the coil. So now when you just turn on the starter button, if you want to point at there it is. There's your fuel pump. Oh, the engine was gonna roll over itself. It's got building up so much compression. That was weird. Yeah,
yeah, I saw.
So what we did after that is we took a chain, and I was parched, I'm sorry. We took a chain and we wrapped it around 2 different trees, and this thing just went to town. It dug, the first time out it must have dug about that far down on the tire, and it just kept digging. It wouldn't stop, didn't die out, didn't lose, it just kept a straight idle, didn't even have it at full throttle. I had it like 3/4, and she was digging pretty good, and even when we shut the tractor off, we didn't lose any of that. It didn't like roll back or anything. I know it was in a hole, but it didn't like roll back. It just kept everything forward. So the chain was tight, not once but twice. The second time, the ground was a little harder, and it was like a bucking bronco. Bucking, B-U. We ran it hot over there with the chain on it, and it seemed to do fine, except now I realized the hairline fracture in the drawbar, so I've got to fix that so we don't break it completely. But other than that, I'm hoping that this solves my issue with the tractor, and we've got it figured out now, and we do some good pulling, because that's all we really want to do. So I've got a couple of more moves to make with it, but we're going to do it in the off season. My hopes are high for tomorrow night's pull, but we'll see. I don't want to let myself down, which I'm probably going to do, but I hope not. She's pulling really good. It's getting a lot of fuel. Fire's right up. I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens, but we'll put a nice long video together so you guys can see everything, even my defeat where I'm ready to cry. Not really, but cheers. didn't put the throttle up too much. Let me know if I come up with the wheelie bars are hidden.